Hi everybody, it's Faye. I just got back from LARPing, so I'm here to do a summary on what happened this weekend and also do a little unboxing because I got a package from Larp House. So, Baby is just in his bouncer, so if you hear like weird noises, that's probably him making. Are you alright, child? Making weird noises. Um, and, uh, and yeah, so, sorry if I look kind of cruddy. I have no eyebrows right now, so, because I am too tired to draw them on. Um, I got sick like immediately after I got home from LARP, so that was fun. And I'm still kind of. So, anyways, so I'm gonna start by opening this because I can't wait any longer. So, we're gonna get into this. I ordered this. These are prosthetics for my dragoon character in Legacies. She is essentially like a half dragon. So one of their racial requirements for makeup is scales. Now, the thing with dragoons is they don't actually have to follow their own racial requirements. They can actually have the racial requirements of any race, and it cannot be detected if they are not that they are not actually that race. So, like canids who have the smell ability cannot actually tell the difference between a canid and a dragoon who's pretending to be a canid. It's a pretty cool ability, but my character, because of her history, doesn't really use it. Um, So, mostly because I really wanted to be like a scaly dragon person. Oh, they're so pretty. Okay, so this is obviously, it came in like a bubble wrap. These are just latex prosthetics, and they're the dragon skin set from Larp House. They come in 3 pieces. They have this really beautiful. I'm gonna hide them because I want to show them. They have this beautiful Larp House logo sticker, which I kind of hope I can save and stick somewhere cute, like on my computer, because I love Larp House. I love you, Cheyenne. So, and they came with this, which looks like it might be cute and dirty. So we're gonna read the little letter it came with. Yeah, so it's pretty much just thanks for supporting the Larp House. Good morrow, fair patron. Thank you so much for supporting the Larp House. You have purchased a latex prosthetic. For a tutorial about how to apply and care for your piece, go to our YouTube channel, etc., etc., etc. So, um, I am on their channel. I have watched all their latex prosthetic videos, so I'm good. Sorry. So, we're going to try and save the Larp House sticker, because I do love it very, very much. And I will actually be posting another video um, of my character in her full scales. Unfortunately, which I'll get into later, she's after spending the time to order these and after Larp House so nicely, or so I should say Cheyenne, so nicely tried to race them to me in time to get me to LARP, which unfortunately didn't happen, but oh, they're so pretty. Okay, which unfortunately they didn't quite make it in time for this month's LARP. And my character, who almost never uses her chameleon ability, is going to be using her chameleon ability for the next little bit. So, which I'll explain in the video. If you LARP with me and you don't want to know what's going on with my character, please don't watch this video. So I think I managed to save the sticker. It's a lot of the sticky came off though. So it's still in one piece. I'll find something to do with it. I like it. So, okay, so this is the forehead prosthetic, and one of my favorite things about this is that it has these bony ridges. So you can see it's kind of like scaled, and it's got the bony ridges, and I just think it looks like completely badass. And it helps because my dragoon has horns. So it just helps differentiate her from a half fae because half fae also have horns. And I'm not sure which direction. These are the cheek prosthetics, and I mean, if you just go by the scales pointing down, she does. I think she talks about how to apply the dragon ones and which direction the scales are supposed to go on. But so they just go like that on the sides, and these are the 3 spots where I've been putting scales for her mostly. So what I'm going to be doing. Oh, the edges are so nice and clean. Like, they look kind of raggy, but, like, the fact that they're singly, like, a single, you know, piece is just really nice. I've had some prosthetics, like, cheapy prosthetics, that are just not very well put together. What are you doing, child? Are you trying to reach that? He's trying to reach something on his bouncer, and he can't quite get at it, so he's making weird noises. Okay, now he's eating his mirror. So yeah, so I got those for my dragon character, who is now not going to be showing her scales. And Larp House was so nice; they tried to get it to me before this LARP. Unfortunately, it did not arrive in time. It was not even out of the states. It was not even out of California by the time my LARP started on Friday. So it's all good. I really love them. I'm super, super stoked to. I'm going to be painting them, and I might do a video of me painting them and then putting them on for the first time just to kind of show what they look like. But yeah, so now I'm going to get into like what happened this month. So, one of my character's main like things or issues in the game is that she was previously a slave. And where she was a slave was in Doomstadt, which is where the Andrani live. And the Andrani are like the drow elves of the game. They're dark skin, white hair. Um, the problem is that they have an ability called fear, which is now called flight. They've done some adjusting in the rules. But essentially, they say flee before me, and your little lizard brain goes, ugh, and runs away. Completely terrified, cannot get within a certain distance of them, or you have to coward. It used to be you had to run. I think now it's you can do either. And dragoons do not have resist or resistance, which is the only ability that allows you to resist flee. And I believe gypsies and Andrani both have it because they're adversaries of each other. So it makes sense that the gypsies would have developed a resistance to their enemy's ability, and the Andrani have resistance, I believe, so they can resist curse, which is what the gypsies have. So, long story short, she had a pretty shitty life. She's terrified of Andrani. She does not like Andrani, and there's a fairly large contingent of them living in town. So this weekend was let's befriend all the Andrani, even though I'm afraid of them weekend. Which started out with her finding out that this one Andrani guy had run away from Doomstadt, that he didn't want to be involved in it, that he was trying to flee. And so she approached him about that and got him to tell her the truth using dragon rhyming, which she also doesn't like to do. Dragon rhyming is you can compel someone to do or say something by ordering them to do it. And then you speak the word dragon rhyming, but obviously it's not heard in game. So she compelled him to tell her the truth, and he did. And so Joaquin and my character Leonara became kind of buddies for the weekend. She offered him a place to stay because she's trying to open like a little boarding house for essentially for new players, but like for people who are new to town and people just passing through who don't have a regular home. You know, just like a boarding house, right? So she's opening a boarding house. She's called the Dragon's Haven, and she let Joaquin stay there this weekend. And then Joaquin actually is played by my friend who who had played the month before we started. And Joaquin has a history with the Andrani in town in that he asked them for sanctuary and then changed his mind. He had 2 months off of game where he wasn't able to attend, and in that time, his character has realized that he really made a big mistake asking for these strange Andrani for sanctuary and for help, because maybe they'll just turn him into his mom, who is trying to catch him. And so, unfortunately for him, Pyotr, who is one of who's the house guard for Mr. Solantha Dramakov, who is the current ambassador in Doomstadt technically living in Dusky. Anyways, Lady Alantha Dramakov, or Mr. Solantha Dramakov, is an ambassador from Doomstadt to the current Duke. And so Pyotr is her house guard, and Connor is the Queen's Shurikai, who's been assigned to protect her. And the Shurikai are like super, super scary bodyguards. So, but that'll come up later. So, Pyotr approaches Joaquin and starts like trying to befriend him and remind him that, you know, he did technically ask his mistress for help. um, which Joachim is a little sketched out about. So he starts trying to befriend Piotr because he figures it's better than ignoring him. And yeah, so Leo's kind of tagging along because she's gotten a little protective of Joachim. He's kind of like the character of Joachim was meant to be kind of like a little bit of a joke. Like he's kind of a, you know, he's not very good at much. He was used as breeding stock back in Doomstop because he was pretty, and and he was good at what he did. But he does have some fight training, and the idea is that he wants to redeem him by like improving his fight training. So, but right now Joaquin's a little bit of a joke, and Leo sees him as a bit of a kicked puppy. She feels sorry for him. She wants to help him out. So she kind of followed reluctantly, even though that would put her in with two Andrani. And eventually, Piotr kind of managed to. He's very. Piotr's a very manipulative character, so he was kind of able to talk her into maybe trusting him a little bit, at least when it came to Joaquin. So she let Joaquin go off with him to talk to Alantha and Connor, who is the Shurikai, um, and all that. So in the meantime, there's all sorts of stuff going in town. There's a big feast for the Duke, which happened this weekend, and there was a puppet show, which was hilarious. Um, but for Leo's main storyline, essentially was like, let's befriend the Andrade this weekend by accident. Um, so once the feast was over, Leo decided she was going to get drunk. She's never been drunk before in her life, but she was feeling shitty. She wanted to get wasted, and lo and behold, her buddy who owns the bar or who owns the tavern, Abby, manages or owns, I can't remember. Anyways, Abby was handing out free wine after she bought a couple of beers. So she had a bunch of wine after drinking two dwarven beers, and sort of was getting just a little tipsy, and then just like, yeah, no, she's never drunk before. She got wasted. Um, so at this point, Drunk Brain decides it's a good idea to walk up to Connor the Shurikai, who is currently in the tavern, and talk to him. And put herself on his radar, which is a stupid thing to do when you're trying to avoid the Andrani contingent. So, she walks up to Connor, she plops herself down in front of him, and she goes, "You're a Shurikai, right?" And he's like, "Yes." They're like super, super scary, like bodyguards, right? Yes, usually. So she's just chatting him up, talking about stuff that technically, like your standard dragoon person outside of someone who did not live in Doomstadt would probably not know some of the stuff that she knew, and so Connor didn't know that she, like nobody knows that she had a history in Doomstadt. So there's that. Um, oops. So long story short, when she sobers up, she realizes this was a big fucking mistake. And as the weekend's winding up, she realizes that talking to Andrani at all was a big fucking mistake. She doesn't want to talk to Joachim. She doesn't want to be friends with Piotr, for sure, because she knows stuff about Piotr that she doesn't want to tell anybody. But she also doesn't want Piotr targeting her because he knows that she knows something. He just doesn't know what yet. She doesn't want to be on Connor's radar because he's fucking scary. Um, so, long story short, I bought these beautiful Dragoon prosthetics, and she's going to be hiding out with another group of characters in town um, who, out of character, said they would probably take her in. So, she's going to be morphed into a different type of humanoid and hiding out for the next, 3 to 6 months, most likely, trying to let the Andrani forget that she ever existed. Um, which should be fun. um, so that's kind of what went on this weekend. I managed to make it through my first three like newbie games. I finally had fizz reps for everything, and I did not die ever. I have not been into spirit, so I have 6 games in which I cannot sunder, which is when if you use up all your reses and then you die again, you're done. Your character sheet is dead. I have 3 more months of that, so it'll be interesting. I'm actually really interested because I know, out of game, I know that some of the Andrani can see spirits, and when you're in spirit, you can't hide your scales as a dragoon. And that's the only way you can tell if someone's a dragoon is if you see them in spirit. Um, or if you see them shift. So if you see them in spirit, then you know they're a dragoon, which means I actually have to get a mask for her because she has to have a mask to wear in spirit. But yeah, so the only way the Andrani would know she was still in town was if they saw her in spirit. And then if she does realize they've seen her, she's either going to be super shifty about getting back to her body or taking someone back to her body so they don't see what she looks like currently, or they're going to figure out who she is and she's freaking screwed. So I'm really interested to see how it goes the next few months with her pretending to be someone else. She is going to be open with the people who are taking her in because she doesn't want to lie to them. Plus, they're sympathetic to her not wanting to be around the Andrani. So we shall see. She's going to be, like I said, she's going to be hiding out. And like I said, I feel so bad because Larp House worked so hard to get these to me so quick. And then even though they didn't make it for last LARP, they were going to be here for next LARP. And now she's not going to be in her scales because she is terrified. So, thank you, Larp House. I'm sorry, Larp House. I will still paint them and wear them in an upcoming video, just so that they can be seen, even if it won't be in game for a while. Love you guys. Bye.